I refuse to purchase Chiquita, Del Monte, or Dole bananas. Hey everybody, this is Emily Josephine, and I'm talking about the third step toward living a more minimalist lifestyle. If you've missed the first two steps, I'm pointing to the step number 1 first, so you can start there. This step that I'm going to talk about, I'm particularly passionate about. And you might be wondering in the introduction why I would refuse to buy the main brands of banana that are found everywhere. Well, good grief, what brands of banana am I going to buy if I'm not going to buy Chiquita, Del Monte, and Dole? And what do I have against them anyway? Slavery. Did you realize that most bananas are grown by slaves? If not slaves, they're grown with a combination really of slaves and people who are not being paid a living wage. They can't eat, they work ridiculously long hours, and they can't even feed themselves on what they're paid. So I mean, for all practical purposes, they are slaves too. The same is true with a lot of chocolate, coffee beans, sugar cane. Some of you might be going, oh my God, are there still slaves today? And I'm not going to judge you for thinking that, because I didn't realize there were still slaves until I heard about the banana thing years ago. Benjamin was very small when I found an article about that. Yeah, there are still slaves being used in different parts of the world, in the tropics, over, different parts of Asia, Africa. Yep. Slavery is still going on. So what is this step to minimalism about? This is more about opening your eyes and getting a revelation about the inhumanity of much of what we consume. And I'm not talking about just food consumption. Pretty much all clothing that you can buy in any regular department store has been made in a sweatshop. What is a sweatshop? A sweatshop is a factory that has very unhealthy environmental conditions. Many times there are children working there illegally. They're breaking child labor laws in that country, or they're in a country where child labor laws don't exist. And, women, and they are not getting paid a living wage either. You can hear horror stories sometimes about factories collapsing, or room collapsing, or, things blowing up, or whatever. They're just unsafe working environments, and they don't get paid nearly enough for the work they do. Why? Because we Americans need to go shopping every weekend and have new outfits, because God forbid we be seen in the same outfit when we go to our church service on Sunday morning that we were in last Sunday. We have to have a new outfit. I'm sorry, I'm getting off. I'm talking about like a pastor's wife. Oh God, I'm going to get in trouble now. But it's not just in religious buildings that stuff like this happens. When you do that, when that's your behavior and that's your habit, you are supporting unethical treatment of human beings. It may be slavery, it may be sweatshops. When you decide to become a minimalist, and you're not going to let yourself be brainwashed by Madison Street anymore, and you're not going to buy something just because the advertisement pops up on Facebook or on the blog post you're reading, you're going to exit off, or you're going to ignore it because I don't need that. Yeah, probably maybe last year I would have thought that was a cool thing to buy, but now I know I don't need that. When you get into that mindset where I don't need that, I am content with what I have, you cease to support those situations where people are being treated inhumanely. I'll go back to the banana thing real quick. Where do I buy? I buy my bananas at Whole Foods. There are other health food stores. Whole Foods hasn't taken over all of them. There are other health food stores that sell fair trade bananas. But you need to look for the sticker on the banana that says fair trade. one thing that really annoys me about Whole Foods is that they recently started, when they get low on their Earth brand bananas, or there's this fair trade brand from Mexico, when they get low on that, they go out and it's a Dole or Del Monte. I think it's Dole. Yeah, I think Dole bananas. They'll buy. And so I've had to start telling the produce guy when I go to buy my cases of bananas, I say, okay, I want this and that, but whatever, I don't care if it's organic or not organic, but it better be fair trade. Do not give me Dole bananas. I'm passionate about this stuff, folks. So anyway, yeah, that's where I buy my bananas. I'm not saying you have to. I'm not going to should on you. I'm just saying, step number 3 to minimalism is another paradigm shift, just like with step number 2. You had to shift the way you think about money and material items. Now you need to shift the way you're thinking about material items in a different way. You need to get enlightened about the unethical treatment of people around the world because of the consumerism of the Western world. And this step, just like step number 2, step number 3, directly connects with the first step about loving. This time it's loving others. Listen up, folks. If you don't care about what's going on, if you don't care about how corporations are exploiting people for labor, people who deserve a living wage just like you, they deserve happiness, they deserve health, but they're not getting it. If you don't care about that, then your greed is going to help perpetuate what's happening, and you're not going to really change. You may look like a minimalist on the outside, but eventually, you'll just start buying stuff again because you don't realize the real problem with consumerism these days, and that is support of inhumane conditions for your fellow human beings. So step number 3 on the journey toward minimalism is recognize that your consumerism is hurting other people. And I think most people have a strong enough conscience that that'll make them turn toward the minimalist camp pretty quickly. All right, thanks a lot for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to share it. I'll see you for the next step in minimalism, or it may be a garden update next and then another step, but whatever, I'll see you. In the meantime, please help someone in need this week.